Greetings, friend. I will show you how to solve this tricky Sudoku puzzle by Philippe called Happy Ending. And I'm going to do it using just one advanced strategy. Not only that, I'll explain all the tips and tricks and strategies you need to get to that point. Click below if you want to give it a go. And with that, it's solving time. First thing you want to see is that there's two sevens in columns 2 and 3, and then across row 7, which means this has to be a 7. So a little bit of cross hatching, not too big of a deal. And then look at this 1 and 5 cutting across row 4. It means 1 and 5 are limited to these two spots. But since we have a 5 in column 8, this has to be your 1, that has to be your 5. Which leads us now to a 7, 8, 9 across here. And we have this great pattern that if you spot these, you can solve triples, 3 Sudoku cells in a row pretty quickly. You see how there's a 8 here in column 7, and then there's a 7 and 8 in column 9. That means that the 8 has to be right here, because the 7, that has to be your 9, this has to be your 7. All right, after that, the next thing you want to notice is that there's a 5 cutting across here in row 8, and there's a 5 coming down column 6, which means the 5 is going to be in two spots here in block 8, and it makes them a pointing pair. And so what I'm using right here, this is called scenario notation. Anytime in a 3x3 block, you'll have two possibilities for candidate. Mark them. And if you solve one of these cells, you can solve the other way. The other thing about Snyder is if you have two lined up in a column like this, is a pointing pair. I mean, the 5s can't be anywhere else along column 4. And that's good for us because now we can solve up here because the 5s cannot be in these spells anymore. We have 5 cutting across row 1 and this 5 coming up column 6. So we can solve this cell for a 5. And this leads us to kind of the first tricky thing you'll need to notice to make some progress in this puzzle. Because you're going to start making marks here and you're going to be like, this is really hard. I'm going to need some advanced strategies. And you'll start putting way too many marks, I promise, unless you see this. And please stick around because the advanced strategy I'm going to show you at the end, it's one you're familiar with, but I'm going to show you the path to where you only need one advanced strategy other than doing some others. Because you could try other advanced strategies, but it's not going to give you as much progress as what I'm about to show you. So stay tuned and keep watching. So you want to notice here is that where can the 7s be in these 3 columns here? Well, if you notice, a 7 can be in columns 4 and 6 here in block 1. And then down here in block 8, they can also be only in columns 4 and 6. And then, there's only 2 possibilities since you have a 7 here in rows 8 and 7. So you can mark that with scenario notation. What that means is this is a kind of a neat situation. I kind of highlight that for you. In that what you know now is that the 7s have to be in column 5 here in block 5 because they can't be in column 5 in block 2 or 8. So if you want a 7 in column 5, it's got to be here in block 5. And since we have a 7 in row 4 and row 5, we can solve this cell for a 7. This is something you're going to want to catch if you want to make progress in the puzzle. It seems like it's a small thing, but actually it's quite a big thing to be able to catch that 7. I like what Philippe did here because being able to spot where the 7 goes here in column 5 is going to be helpful because he creates another situation where we need to do the same kind of solving, and it involves column 2 and with the digit 5. So look here, where can a 5 be in block 1? It can only be in rows 1 and 3 because of this 5 and this 5. And then if you come down here into block 4, where can a 5 be? Well, same 2 columns 1 and 3 because of this 5 and this 5. So what this tells us, it's like a mini X-wing, but really they're claiming pairs. And what that means, it creates a claiming pair because what that means is now the 5s are limited to column 2 down here in block 7. And since we have a 5 here in row 8, we can actually solve this cell for a 5. So another way to find this is you could just look at the 5s and go all the way down and go, okay, where's the only place in column 2 to do a 5? But normally you're going to do the scenario notation and find this, and I love that. And it reminds me of another great puzzle, so stay tuned to the end. You need to check that one out as well. It uses a lot of these types of strategies in the solving. So after putting this 5 in, we can make some more progress here when we get kind of excited, because look where the 1s can go now in block 7. It can't go anywhere here because of the 1 in row 8, and then you have the 1 come down column 3, so we can be able to solve for a 1 there, and then with these 2 8s, we can solve for an 8 right there. And then now the 9s are going to be limited to these 2 spots because of this 9 up here. So we've made a lot of great progress because we did this 5. Now we can solve for the 5 here and get rid of that 5. And so now Look across here. What are we looking for? A 2, 6, and a 9. I got a 2 and a 6. So now I'm switching to a naked single, right? Because we're looking to see what is the only possibility for this cell. And we know since we have the 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8 coming across row 7, I'm just looking for a 2, 6, 9. I see a 2, 6 right there, so I know I can solve that for 9. I see the 2 right there, so this has to be your 6, and that's your 2. And this is kind of that same pattern that I was showing you with the 7, 8, 9s earlier. And so you got some patterns here. It's going to lead to that solving, and then there's going to be another pattern I'm going to show you real quick for another naked single that's going to be crucial to help solve this puzzle. I will put the 1s and the 3s right there to fill out since it's a naked pair. And next, let's focus on where a 2 can go here. We got 2 and a 2 with this 2 cut across row 3, so that's got to be a 2. And then you can notice how the 1, 3 cuts up into block 2. The 1 and 3 are limited to the same 2 spots, right? Those are the only other places for that. So this has to be a 1, 3 hidden pair. And then you look, you need a 4, 7, and 9. I got a 4 and a 9 right here. This is actually going to be your 7. And then this is a 4, 9 naked pair. And since we now know 4 and 9 have to be in these 2 cells, we have the other ones filled out. We can come down here and solve this for a 6, which leaves us with a 1, 3, 4 in this corner. And we can get rid of that 1 right there. So far, doing some great solving. We haven't really got stepped up. And that's because you had to notice these like claiming pair, mini X-Wing type things with the 5 and 7s. Otherwise, you might have been looking for a while on where to go next with this puzzle. So since we solved this 7, we know a 7 go there. That's the only place left in block 2. And then with this 7, we can displace this Snyder, and we know we can solve that last 7 down there. And you see how this 4 comes down, column 5. That means the 4 is limited to these 2 spots. And so it makes that another pointing pair. So this 4 with these 2 4s means 4s can't be in any of these spots, can't be in those spots. And we have this 4 cutting across row 6. So that's actually has to be a 4. Then combine it with that 4, we can solve for 4 up here in block 4, and then we can solve for 4 right there. Now we can actually disambiguate this 9 and 4 right there. So you can see, again, making some really good progress, but stick around because we still need an advanced strategy. You know, I think that's why the name's Happy Ending, because you got to find that one key strategy to get to the end of this puzzle. Let's focus up here in block 1. You can see there's 2 coming up, column 1, and you got these 2s right there. It means we can actually solve this cell for a 2. And then with this 2 and these 2s in columns 1 and 2, we can solve for a 2 right here. And so we've limited where the 2s can be, which is nice for us. And then look here in column 2, where can a 1 be? Only in this spot because we got this 1 in column 3 and column 1. We can solve that for a 1. Now we can solve this 3, 1. And you're going to get excited. Hey, Timberlake, look, we're solving. This is going to be good. I don't need you. But stay tuned because we're getting to that spot we're going to need to do the advanced strategy. Okay, so because there's 4, we know that's got to be a 4 right there. We can move those Snyder marks, and what you're left with is a 2 and a 9. And as we get a lot of buy value cells, your radar should be going up, going, hey, we've got some advanced strategies coming up. Something's coming up here. It's great. Because it's 2, 9, and knowing that this is a full house, we know this cell right here has to be a 9, which leaves us at a 3, 6. Okay, so we have a 3, 6. Interesting. A 3, 6 naked pair right there. What finishes up this row? Looks like a 3, 6, 8. I got the 8 here, so this would have to be where your 8 goes, and then this would be another 3, 6. Another 3, 6 naked pair. All right, we're going to keep an eye on those things because that seems real interesting. Let's look at this cell right here. Remember why we got to look and kind of figure out some naked singles? Well, what can this cell be? Well, if you look down column 3, you'll notice we were missing a 3, 5, and a 6. So I look right here and go, oh, I got a 3 and a 6 right there. This has to be your 5. So now we can solve that 5 because we displaced some Snyder marks there. Awesome. And what does that mean? Since this 3 and a 6 cuts across here, this cannot be a 3 or 6. This has to be a 9. And this is going to be another 3 or 6. Okay, we're getting a lot of 3, 6 pairs here. What is going on? And if we look across here, we can solve this cell because I got a full house. That has to be an 8. That's the only cell missing from row 3. And guess what that leaves us? A 3 and a 6. What the heck is going on? I don't understand. Why do we have all these 3s and 6s here? This is very interesting. And let's look here. We got the 8, 8, 8 coming up. Only one place left for an 8 here in block 5. So we saw that for an 8. Only one place left for an 8 up here in block 2. Going to solve that for an 8. And then it's going to give us another 3, 6 to finish off row 2. Okay, do you see the advanced strategy that we need right now to finish this puzzle? And I'll give you a hint. If we finish this row, row 6, it would be a 3, 6, 9. So 3, 6, 3, 6, 9, and a 3, 6, 9. You can actually get rid of the 6 there. What can we do? Well, with all these nice matching pairs, we have a remote pair. Okay, and I'm going to do some coloring, so alternate coloring to kind of show you what's going on here with the remote pair. This is fun. This is the advanced strategy you've been waiting for, and this is how we're going to make that last breakthrough in this puzzle. Okay, so let's say the blue is a 3. If this is a 3, that'd be a 6. This would be a 3. This would be a 6. And so any cell that sees these two cells, you can remove a 3 or a 6. Same thing. If this was a 6, that'd be a 3. This would be a 6. This would be a 3. So you'll notice the yellow is the opposite of what the blue is. So any cell that sees these two, you can remove both pairs. That's called a remote pair. And we can remove the 3 and the 6 from this cell right here. And in fact, I have a great tutorial about remote pairs. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, check it out. Put the link right here. But stay tuned to the end because we want to finish solving this puzzle. And I got that other great puzzle that I want you to check out next. You will need to watch that as well. So this is huge. This remote pair, once I saw this, I was like, oh, this is nice. I liked how Philippe put it in there. And you notice I navigated and got around all the other advanced strategies just to get to this point where we only needed the one strategy, and it's remote pair. And once you start seeing these remote pairs, they get pretty easy to identify and to do the solving. So now we can start making the progress to get us to the end. Because that 9, now we got a 2 here and a 9, and I'm always trying to finish out and mark up these cells that I had put markings in before. Because of this 3, now we can actually figure out what this is going to be. This is a 6, this is a 3, this is a 3, that's a 6, that's a 3, right? This was a 6, that was a 3, which makes sense. Here's your 6, here's your 3. Okay, let's get ourselves to the end. What cell's missing along row 5? I don't see a 1, so that's got to be your 1. I'll cross-hatch my way up to this one right there, and we're still missing a 6 or a 9. I got my 6. So here's your 6, here's your 9, and if we come in here, we're still missing, it looks like a 6, and the last cell would be a 2. You need to check out this other puzzle if you want to solve remote pairs even better. I want to thank Philippe for letting me feature your puzzle on his channel. You're an awesome setter. I look forward to getting some more great classics from you. And join the Smarty community. Click on the link below to see about my Buy Me a Coffee page and all the great benefits you could get by joining as a member. Thank you so much for watching.